How's it going? I'm Visionary, this is Visionary Decks, and today we're going to be taking a look at day 2 of the Glory and Navori card reveals, starting off with the first champion for this set, the Sett. Let's take a look, shall we? Alright, here we go.
That's all there is to it.
Sett owns the fight. So he's like the ringleader. It's very interesting. Now I am going to pause this video. I know some people like to watch the trailer and like then analyze the cards afterwards. I kind of like to pause like whenever the cards pop up on screen in big mode like this. I'm not going to pause if they like make me, I don't know, squint and look at the hand. But if they're full on screen like this, we will take a look at them. It looks like Sett is a 5-mana Ionia champion. I had a feeling it was going to be Runeterra. I don't know why, but he is a challenger, and he says, the first time I would drop below 1 health while attacking, give me barrier instead. Interesting. So that means when he takes damage, when someone strikes him, or when someone, I don't know, mystic shots him or spends some sort of damage spell on him, he basically almost has like an unkillable effect to a degree. He's pseudo unkillable. His level up is you've spent 40 plus mana, which is a lot of mana. We can see that he definitely does want to be played with coins. I don't know how much coins are going to help that though. Like 40 plus mana is kind of insane. I'm trying to think about like how you would want to build a deck around him to try and like cheat out spending extra mana. I guess Flash of Brilliance and like cards that refill your spell mana. That's really it. There's not a lot of ways. There's like so many ways to discount cards. But that's not going to work for him, right? Because you want to spend mana. You don't want your cards to cost 0. You want your cards to cost like kind of a lot so you can level them up quickly. He has a 4/5. So for a challenger in Ionia, I'd say this is very, very solid for a 5-drop. He obviously has Shen synergy, which is cool. Anyways, let's keep watching the trailer.
Want a piece of me?
All right, so there's the accountant. And he's going to die. Wow. But he just survives. That's crazy. Also, dude, the coin animation. I don't know why, but that makes me happy. That makes me more happy than it should. That's an interesting spell. Is that Noxus? Oh, they fight each other. Oh, I thought they were going to strike each other. Dang it, dude.
No collateral.
Yeah, the coin animation is pretty cool. Is Master Steve? Master being when the Steve? Is it an 8-drop? Double attack? Okay, interesting. They're playing him with Jace.
Looks like a full house. Nice work. And would it kill you to smile?
Okay, I understand now. Here's the level up.
Time to give him a show.
Jack, dude, Jack the winner. Wait. Hold up. Hold on. This has got me wondering what Jack the winner's level up is going to look like. Is it just going to be like 2 opposite sides of the same level up? Like what if Jack the winner's level up ends from his angle on the same fight? So you see it like the back of Jack the winner and you can see like Sett about to punch him from the other side. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but I don't know. They might. Like they're all in this arena. I have a feeling maybe their level ups will all combine in a way. Dude, okay. What if this is Sett's level up? Jack's level up is the other side of the fight, and then Samira's level up, you can like see them fighting in the background. They're probably not going to go that far, but that'd be cool. It'd be cool if she's like doing her own thing, like up on a balcony somewhere, and just like in the distance, like way down there, you can see them fighting in the arena. I don't think they're going to do that, but it'd be cool. Anyways, Sett level 2. He's a 5/6, obviously. While I'm attacking, I can't take damage or die. Okay, so he doesn't upgrade. He still can't use that ability when block. Wait. Oh. So it's no longer I gain barrier. It's just straight up I don't die. That's crazy. Especially for Ionia. I do feel like this is kind of a downgrade in some ways. Because if you want to play him with Shen, like you no longer have Shen synergy as soon as Sett levels up, right? He doesn't have the barrier anymore, so there's no more synergy there. But it's also going to take a while to level him up, probably. So this is only going to happen on like turn 12. I really don't even know how you're going to level him before turn 10, except, okay, so playing him with Jace was a very smart choice for the trailer because now I'm starting to see it. If you play Jace or Karma, they're just going to duplicate your spells. So if you play a 6+ cost spell with Jace and he duplicates it, I'm assuming that's gonna count as 12 mana for Sett, which is crazy. So he's actually like a mid-range challenger that you might want to play with Karma. Anyways, he also says each round create a showstopper in hand once you've spent 12 plus mana. That's a lot of mana to spend. This better be a good card. This better be like a literal showstopper. This better, I don't know, be win the game. Is that what it is? I hope it's not win the game. Actually, I take that back.
This one's gonna hurt.
Obliterate an enemy? And that's the one you choose to obliterate? Really? All right, dude. And so, wait.
Someone I hate.
I guess it deals 1 as well. Deals 1 to other enemies. Wow. He's a lot more interesting than I thought he would be. That was a cool trailer. I'm not gonna lie. It's got me kind of hyped for him. I guess let's take a look at the cards, shall we? All right, so first up, we've got Sett. Obviously, already talked about him a little bit during the trailer. I am really curious to see how his level up progresses when you play him with Karma or Jace, because his level up does say you've spent 40 plus mana. So like, I don't know. Is that me? If one of my units duplicates a spell, does that count as mana I've spent? I think if you really think about it, like if you play Karma Lux says, I've seen you spend 6 mana, right? And then she creates a final spark. And if Karma duplicates a spell, it does create a second final spark in hand. So because Lux also says, I've seen you spend X amount of mana, I'm going to assume this has to work with Karma. There's no way this doesn't work with Karma, which is crazy. Now, that being said, we know the best way to level him. The question is it good enough? 40 plus mana is still a lot of mana to spend, and even though he has like kind of solid during his level 1, his level 2 really seems like the reason you want to play him. Like, he's okay as a challenger. He's just a little bit expensive at 5 mana. Like, if you want to play challengers, maybe just play Demacia. I don't know. Like, you can only ever play one of this guy on your board. And he comes down turn 5, which is a little bit late for Challenger. He's almost like a Thresh, but like a lot better than Thresh. I really do want to try him with PNZ, to be honest. I feel like PNZ would be a lot of fun because it's got Flash of Brilliance, it's got Formula, and it's also got Quick Attack. You've got the Seraphine spell, right? And you've also got the equipment, which I feel like would be really helpful for a challenger like this in general. I don't know if you want to run the equipment, like maybe that's not as big of a priority since you already kind of can't die. But I do feel like you're gonna want to have at least 1 or 2 combat tricks so he can pull a unit in and like not take damage from it, because I don't think he's really gonna survive more than like 2 attacks on your average game. And again, he's gonna take a long time to level up. So like, this might be the kind of challenger you use twice and then he just like sits back row and waits for you to level him, because he's down to 1 HP and like he can't pull anything in. The only interesting thing about this that I didn't realize until like right now is even if he has 1 HP, you still attack with him and he doesn't die, which is crazy. I didn't think that was the way he was going to work. I thought once he gets down to 1 health, that's when you stop attacking with him. He can't be used anymore because otherwise he's going to die if he pulls anything in. But he can still pull stuff in. Like, makes no difference. As far as synergy goes, like, I really can't think of any other reasons you would want to play him with other champions or other cards. You've got, like, cards that refill spell mana, which will help you level them up faster. You've got champions that duplicate spells, which will also help you level them up faster. I don't know. Other than that, like, what else is there? I guess he probably synergizes pretty well with Demacia. Maybe he's, like, a Jarvan kind of champion, because he does survive damage, right? Like, he always survives damage. That's probably a pretty good combination, to be honest. Sett comes down on 5, Jarvan comes down on 6. Every single time Sett pulls anything in on attack, he's just going to survive. I feel like that's a pretty solid combination, to be honest. I guess another solid combination for Sett would maybe be Freljord, since you can play ramp cards, right? Which would let you get extra mana gems, which would technically help you spend a lot more mana a lot more quickly. And also, you could summon him from Feel the Rush. He is not the worst champion to summon from Feel the Rush. Now, some people do think all of the KDA cards like Feel the Rush, Go Hard, Go Get It are going to end up getting rotated. It's another little interesting thing to think about as we're looking at all of these new cards. But either way, I do feel like having ramp is definitely a solid option for Sett. Honestly, I think one of the strongest things Sett has going for him is the fact that he is in Ionia. I know it's a weird region for a champion like this, but he's kind of got everything he already needs, but deny, right? Like, he already is going to survive damage every single time he pulls an enemy in. All he really needs is just like, hey, if they're gonna Mystic Shot him while he's attacking, he wants a Notify, or he wants a Deny, or he wants maybe even Unyielding Spirit. I feel like Sett decks are basically just gonna be Sett, Twin Disciplines, Notify, Deny, Momentous Choice, and Karma. Like, that's your average Sett deck. If you're going to net deck a Sett deck, that's probably what it's going to look like. And then obviously all of the cards that help him spend mana quickly. But you don't even really need to build a deck that's like Ramp or Jace or Karma or some way to like cheat out extra mana to play him, because he's just a good champion to have in your deck. Like, if you just want a way to, I don't know, pull in a Nora and like make sure you're not losing the game because the opponent's playing a Nora deck, he's pretty good. I am pleasantly surprised to see that he's not just like hard stuck in a coin archetype. I was kind of worried that the champions coming out here were going to be like, level up, you've played 5 coins, or like, I don't know, you've created 10 coins. I'm glad that he is a very generic champion. Like, I don't want a boring champion, but I do feel like having a generic champion is always good, because you can just throw them in like a bunch of different decks, and he's definitely a generic champion in a very good way. I like it. Anyways, moving on to his level 2. By the way, I can't look at this and not just see like the Super Saiyan Sonic. I don't know what you call that. That's probably not what it is, but whatever the yellow Sonic is, that's all I see when I look at his level 2. That's all I'm ever going to see, is just... But I really do feel like his level 2 is like the main reason you're going to want to play him, right? Because it's very, very strong. He can't take damage or die. He's basically like a selfish Tarek, right? Like, he himself cannot die, which is kind of cool. I mean, on his level 2, he can no longer die to Vengeance, which is amazing. To be fair, it's already going to be like, again, turn 10 probably, so the opponent would have already played Vengeance before this if they had it, but you're also in Ionia, so you probably would have denied the first Vengeance anyways. So this is just like, hey, if they draw a second Vengeance or a third Vengeance, it does nothing now. Now, he can still be killed after attacking. So this is still like not even that powerful of an ability, especially with only 5 attack. But it seems like he's just like, I don't know, a good engine to maybe start throwing buffs on. Like, maybe play him with Udyr and maybe just keep throwing like Overwhelm, +2/+2. Probably not regen, but maybe regen. Like, if you're trying to give him regen, you're probably doing something wrong. Let me take a closer look at this Showstopper card he creates, because I still don't fully understand what it said. All right, so it's a 0 mana slow spell, and it is fleeting. Obliterate an enemy. Deal 1 to all other enemies and the enemy nexus. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I like this. I think this is kind of unhealthy for Ionia to have Obliterate. It's just like weird. Like, why... Why does it need to be Obliterate? I don't know, dude. I feel like Obliterate is a type of keyword. I don't know if it's a keyword, but I feel like it's a type of word that should be used very, very sparingly. Like, I think it makes sense in Targon. It's cool for Targon to have Obliterate. That's about it. I don't think there should be a lot of cards that Obliterate. It really just doesn't feel like it fits Ionia's flavor, but at the same time, you do have to spend 12 mana to even get this. And it's fleeting, so like, it better be good. And it also does deal 1 to all other enemies, which is pretty solid. I don't know, maybe play this with like a Time Bomb deck. Maybe play this with a Broadmane deck. I do feel like Sett Broadmane could be a very solid combo. The only problem is there's literally no other reason to play Ionia with Broadmane. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, seems like a very solid champion, especially for 5 mana. Just the fact that he's a challenger that basically does not die when he challenges stuff is super cool, I think. All right, moving on to the first non-champion card, Facebreaker. So this is an Ionia spell. I thought it was a Noxus spell because those are Noxian soldiers in the art. It is a 4 mana slow, stun 2 enemies, and create a coin in hand. Now, when I first saw this spell, I thought he was going to make the enemies strike each other, which would have been super cool. I guess it doesn't really make sense because he's probably just like smashing their heads together. It's not like he's actually like making them fight each other. I do still feel like choose two enemies, they strike each other would be a sweet spell. So hopefully we see that eventually in the game. But this is very interesting. This is a very, very good card for Yasuo. Again, I feel like we're slowly creeping, slowly chugging along the tracks towards a Yasuo meta. This is 4 mana stun 2. There is the stun 2 in Targon, which is 1 more mana, but that is because it's fast speed. So I guess, you know, since this is slow speed, it's a little bit worse. Makes sense that it would be 1 less mana. As far as like what other decks you would play this in besides a Yasuo deck, I really don't know. Would you play this in a coin deck? I would argue probably no. I feel like this is a pretty bad card outside of Yasuo decks, but for Yasuo decks, I really don't know why you wouldn't run this. This seems just like an absolute must-have for Yasuo. Okay, and I didn't realize this, but apparently this is Sett's champion spell. I feel like champion spells are almost always better when they're either burst or fast speed. Like typically, if a champion spell is slow, that's just going to make the champion weaker overall. This is definitely not like on the same level of Dragon's Rage with Lee Sin, which was terrible. But I don't know, does Sett really want to play this in a Sett deck? I guess? All right, here we go. I haven't even read the text for this one, but this one is looking like draw 2, create a coin in hand. Is that what it is? Draw 2 and create 2 coins. I knew it, dude. There's 2 tickets. It's 5 mana, which is kind of expensive. I feel like this is not that good. This is 3 mana, draw 2. So this is essentially the same as a formula, kind of. I feel like formula is still better with Sett. Like if you were going to play an Ionia PNZ Sett deck, you probably wouldn't play this, right? Like, would you rather just play Drum Solo? Maybe not. Drum Solo does discount the cost of cards. So maybe this is better than Drum Solo, and you just play this and Formula. Either way, it's still kind of expensive. I honestly do feel like the only deck you would really play this in would be Sett. Maybe Karma. I don't know. I guess this is solid as long as you are playing coins or playing Karma. There's probably just like purely a Sett card, Karma card, and coin card, I guess. All right, and here's our final card for the day, the big guy. 8 cost, 6/6, double attack. We saw this guy in the trailer for Sett. I still don't like understand what his skill does. I wasn't really paying attention to that. It says play, recall the strongest enemy. So you don't get a choice. It's just automatically the strongest enemy. If you've spent 16 plus mana this round, recall all enemies instead. How is that ever going to happen? So I guess this guy also just like has to be played with coins. Probably can't even be played with Karma unless Karma is playing coins. Like there is no way to spend 16 plus mana with Karma really and drop this guy for 8 mana. Would you play this guy in an Ionia Timelines deck? Now there's an interesting idea. Maybe Timelines Jhin. This is a Jhin card because it does have a skill. Maybe coins is sort of like a Timelines archetype because Timelines wants to play units, right? Wants to play units primarily. Coins is just like a way to give yourself extra mana to spend on units. And when you play a coin unit, like all you care about is getting the coin. Like you don't, if you want to change it into a different unit, that works. It's not the greatest choice for Timelines, but you could play just like a coin Ionia Timeline stack. And this guy is sort of your finisher, I guess, because he recalls the entire enemy board. He does have double attack. So like in some ways you don't want to change him into another unit. You kind of just want to keep him as a 6/6 with double attack. But I don't know. On turn 8, he's never really going to hit face. Maybe play this guy with like Overwhelm. I'm trying to think about like the best way to give this guy Overwhelm reliably. Maybe play with Aphelios. I do feel like coins and Aphelios are going to be a very, very good combo because they work with Nightfall super well. And Aphelios just wants you to be able to play 2 cards each turn, which coins essentially let you do for free. So I don't know, maybe play this guy with Aphelios. You drop him turn 8. You have the Overwhelm Moon Weapon. You give him Overwhelm, and then he hits face for 16 total damage. And he recalls the entire enemy board. That's not bad. I guess if you're playing him with Aphelios, you probably would not be able to spend 16 plus mana. I still don't I cannot wrap my head around how you're gonna get 16 plus mana in one turn. You'd have to be turn 8, spend 8 mana, have a coin that refills 8 mana, then you would have just hit 16 mana on turn 8 by playing him because he's another 8 mana, right? So you spend your 8 mana twice because you have a coin that's worth 8 mana. And then you have exactly 2 mana left over to play your moon weapon. And if the opponent has like vengeance or something, you just lose. I don't know. This seems like kind of a fragile card in general. And just like by nature, if he's forcing you to spend 16 mana, you're not going to have mana left over for deny. That's just the way it works, right? Maybe he comes down turn 10. Maybe you just never play him on curve on turn 8. I'm really fixated on this guy with Aphelios. I know that seems like kind of a weird combination, but trust me, dude, Aphelios coins is going to be a thing. Aphelios coins, probably going to be one of the first decks I try. I'm going to be honest. But yeah, that's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3.